You are not afraid that tapping won't work. You're actually afraid that it will. And I know that sounds a little bit odd, but when we step into change, when we step into transformation, sometimes the scariest part about change and transformation is the fact that it might actually happen. Today in the podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about that fear of tapping actually working and what we can do to overcome that so we can get the most out of this absolutely amazing tool. This is Monterastelli, and welcome to the Tapping Q&A podcast, recorded live to tape from Williamsburg in Brooklyn. This is episode 668, originally aired August 7th, 2025. Hi, everyone. I hope this finds you well wherever you are and whatever time of day you're getting a chance to listen to this. Thanks for spending a little time with me today. Over the course of the last year or so, my focus as a teacher and someone who works with clients is not to teach people new things. Yes, I run lots of trainings. Yes, I want you to have the best in-class approaches and tools when we sit down to tap. But my biggest focus has not been about how to tap, but instead, how do we tap more often? Just because we have access to this amazing tool, which literally is right at our fingertips that we can do at any moment in any setting, for some reason, I don't think I've talked to a person ever who's felt like they've tapped as much as they could. It's really easy to go, oh, I could have tapped for this. Oh, I would remember that. And so because of that, I've been really giving a lot of thought and working with my clients and my students and trying to figure out why is it that we are not tapping? And like all things, there's not one reason. There's lots and lots of reasons why we don't tap. But one of those reasons is the fact that there is a part of us that afraid if we actually sit here and tap, if we actually sit here and create transformation, it's going to happen. Now, logically, this makes very little sense because the reason why I'm reaching for a tapping tool, the reason why I'm thinking about tapping is I want something different. I want something better. We all want something different. We all want something better. Even people who have absolutely amazing lives could point to something they would like to change. But change is really scary. It's particularly scary to the subconscious mind. And the reason why it's so scary to the subconscious mind is our subconscious mind is designed, it is built to keep us safe, which means that it is constantly on guard for the things that could go wrong. It is constantly on guard for danger. It is constantly on guard for places we could be harmed, where we could look foolish, where we could be judged. And so, for the subconscious mind, the best place for us to be is a place that is predictable. And you'll notice I didn't say a place that was safe, but instead a place that is predictable. Because if I'm in a predictable environment, I know what might be coming and I know what is not coming. I know what I need to be present to and I don't know what I need to be present to. The trouble I know is better than the trouble I don't know. Because even if the trouble I know is really, really bad, I at least know what it is. And so when we are considering change and transformation, the subconscious mind goes, but I don't know how to be that new version of myself. I don't know how to handle the world if I'm in a new position and I have new opportunities and new responsibilities and new skills. It's also afraid that I could get those things and then have them slip through my fingers and lose them once again. It could be afraid that if I do a really good job, then people are going to expect me to do that really good job all the time. And so, since there are all of these unpredictable things that are waiting for me out there that come with success, it makes sense. My subconscious mind, not my conscious mind, not the part of me that wants change and evolution, but my subconscious mind whose primary goal is to keep me safe, it wants the predictable. It doesn't want all of those open-ended questions. And intellectually, we know that change and transformation and better is better. That's why we call it better. And we can even see how we are stuck, how that's holding us back, and in some cases is making things worse as they deteriorate. And so that's why we get so frustrated with ourselves. When we have this amazing tool that creates change, consciously I know something needs to change. Consciously I know something wants to change. But I'm staying stuck because it is safer for me to stay stuck. So what we're going to do is we're just going to do a little bitty exercise to see if we can uncover some of the reasons why, security and safety and success might feel unsecure and unsuccessful as we move forward. And so what we're going to do is, if you spent time with me before, we're going to use two of my favorite 4 frames to look into a problem like this. We're going to look through the lens of safe and we're going to look through the lens of allow. Now, if you've been with me before, oftentimes we'll look at something and we'll go, it is not safe for me to do this because I'm not allowed to do this because. The nature of the work that we're doing here, what I want to do is I want to offer a preface. And for me, I love prefaces and prefixes in my tapping all the time. And the things that I'm saying, and this is super important, I want you to hear this loud and clear. The phrases that we are saying when we are tapping are not for our conscious mind. They are for our subconscious mind. And so there are times we are going to say things that intellectually we do not believe. And we're not tapping things that we don't believe into our subconscious mind, but instead what we're doing is we're trying to negotiate with the subconscious mind so it's open to change and transformation. Intellectually, I might not appreciate the fact that I'm staying stuck, but I will say to the subconscious mind, I appreciate the fact you're trying to keep me safe by keeping me stuck. Now, I certainly don't appreciate that, but I can appreciate its attempt. I can appreciate its effort. And so as we tap, oftentimes we're going to bump into phrases that make it hard for our conscious mind to engage because they're counter to what our conscious mind thinks. So oftentimes I provide these prefaces to make the entire process easier for me to engage with this. Because if I say, it is not safe for me to be successful because, my conscious mind is going to go, but it is safe and that's what we want. And that gets in the way of the process. So a little preface here. And the preface is, even though I know it's not logically true, what that does is it eases the conscious mind and lets it go. So tap on the side of the hand if it's safe and it's comfortable for you where you are. Take a nice easy breath. And I want you to tune into a success that you want. It could be relationship or business or health or spiritual or organizing your house, something administrative, whatever it is. I just want you to think of a success. And I just want you to complete this sentence for me. Even though I know it's logically not true, emotionally, it feels unsafe to be successful because. And just pay attention to what comes up. Now we're going to do the allowed part of it. Even though I know it is logically not true, emotionally, it feels like I'm not allowed to have this success because. And again, just pay attention to what comes up and jot those things down. Now take an easy breath. We're going to do tapping here in a moment. But I just want to, again, look at what we did there. Even though I logically know it's not true, I emotionally feel it is unsafe because. So you notice that I'm not saying that I agree with it, but I'm giving it context to bubble up, and hopefully it gave you information inside of that. And so anytime we have something show up there, especially if it's surprising, then it means that we're on the right path, and it's going to put us in a place that's going to allow us to move forward. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do some tapping on some of the general ideas that come up. These might match with you, what you just came up, and if not, that's okay. Tap on this, and then when we're done with this podcast episode, you can go and you can tap on the other things that came up. So just tap on the side of the hand, take a nice big deep breath. And just move from tapping point to tapping point, repeating after me. I recognize the fact that there is a part of me that would like to be successful. There is a part of me that would like to move forward and would like to heal. And one of the reasons why I do not use tapping to help me to heal and transform is because I'm afraid. I'm afraid it might actually work. And I know that sounds silly. But the reason why I'm afraid that tapping might work is because my system simply wants me to be safe. My system simply wants me to be healthy. And the reason why it's afraid is it is afraid that I don't know who I will be if it works. It is afraid I won't be able to handle the new version of me. It is worried that I might have success and lose it. It is afraid that it'll be more painful to have success and then have it stripped away. I give myself permission to know it is possible for me to know that I can have success and be safe. I've had success before that I could handle. I've had healing before that I could integrate. It is okay that there is hesitancy about healing and transformation. And I give myself permission to be easy and gentle and to allow myself the space to know it is safe for me to tap because it is safe for me to heal. Nice easy deep breath. This is a niggly one. It's one that hides under the surface. It's one that is so unobvious. So it makes sense that we struggle to find our way to it, to remember to tap for it, or to even uncover something like this. So if you're in a circumstance where you have been wanting to tap more and you're not, this is a perfect thing for you to explore as we engage with all of this. So sometimes, what's really funny is, even when we're afraid to tap on the issue, we're not afraid to tap on the fact that we're afraid to tap on the issue. Like there might be some space inside of this. So this is something that might be at a far enough distance that allows you to tap more often, and it's going to gently erode that fear, which is going to make it easier for you to do the tapping that you actually want to do to create the change that you want. So I hope you enjoyed that little process. I hope you enjoyed that little approach. Again, make sure you caveat when you're tuning into something that doesn't logically make sense. It doesn't logically make sense. It's not safe for me to do that. So he stated, even though I intellectually know this is not true, emotionally, it is not safe for me to heal because tuning in that particular way is going to make it so much easier for you to engage with the tapping and do it more. Again, you already know the basics of tapping. If you've had any success with it before, the issue is not the tapping. The issue is the starting, and hopefully this will make it a little easier for you to do exactly that. If you know someone in your life who could appreciate this little thing, please pass it along. Our marketing budget is your word of mouth. And if you reach out to someone right now and say, hey, try this out, it might make their day a little better. Even if they don't tap on it, the fact you're thinking of them might be the exact thing that they need to do. The other thing that we do at the end of every single episode is we'd like to pull an old episode for you to check out. I got this idea from Alex Schmidt. It's secretly incredibly fascinating. Before I sat down to record this, I went into my random number generator. I typed in the episodes and it gave us episode 584, Tapping to Improve Your Self-Esteem and to Grant Yourself Forgiveness. It is a fun little tap along. It actually nicely dovetails onto what we are doing here. Giving ourselves permission to actually step in to do those scary, scary things. If you'd like to check that out, all you need to do is go to tappingqanda.com/584 for episode 584. You can find the entire archive at thetappingpodcast.com, but tappingqanda.com/584 to tap along to that. As you look at the screen right now, you can actually see an archive of all the video versions of the podcast. Click on that playlist, dive in, check out past episodes, and I look forward to talking with you and tapping with you again real soon. Bye-bye.